Hi, this is Andrea Platt, and welcome to my YouTube channel, The Juncture. If you enjoy the Affirmations for Progressive videos, please like the videos, share them widely, and subscribe to the channel. If you want to further support Affirmations for Progressives and more projects here on The Juncture, please stay tuned to the end of the video to find out how. Enjoy today's affirmation. At its core, feminism means fighting for the rights of those who identify as women, girls, femmes, and other female-presenting people based on gender equity. That definition decouples a couple of ideas. That being a quote-unquote woman or quote-unquote girl is based on sex, which means, according to Planned Parenthood, the label we're assigned at birth based on the genitals a doctor sees and the chromosomes we're assumed to have because of that observation, that will appear on official documents we don't initially control, like birth certificates, versus gender. Again, borrowing from Planned Parenthood's definition to mean assumptions about behavior in terms of a person's masculinity or femininity based on the interplay of social and legal status and a set of social expectations about how a person acts as well as that person's characteristics and thoughts. Secondly, this meaning of feminism breaks down the idea that it is simply about being equal to men. According to Reverend Dr. Chris McDonald Dennis, who's one of this channel's founding funders, when we talk about privileges, rights, and the struggle for equity, we're really saying that marginalized people should have the same rights and accompanying benefits and access to them that the dominant group has. For example, women, girls, femmes, and other female-presenting people should have the right to be safe on the streets as men, boys, and other male-presenting people. We also know that this particular right depends on race, gender presentation, class signifiers, ability, and other attributes and circumstances that circumscribe that male privilege and, by extension, walking down a street without harassment or worse. Privileges, as we feminists know, aren't absolute, though folks like to move through their lives and the world as if they are. But, as Reverend Dr. McDonald Dennis says, the faulty way we progressives tend to struggle for equity, including we feminists, means that we want to eliminate the privilege itself, not the systems that allow the privilege to be exercised so lopsidedly. We also know that all feminisms are not about moving toward a just world for all women, girls, femmes, and other female-presenting people, along with the rest of humanity and the family of living creatures and other parts of the ecosystem we call Earth, but are for a few who want to gain and retain their mitigated privileges under white supremacy, capitalism, and, ironically enough, patriarchy. The feminisms that do meet this moment critically encompass concerns and causes of women, girls, femmes, and other female-presenting people across races, gender expressions and presentations, classes, abilities, and other attributes and experiences. That means that a woman has the right to assume that she is, and should be, able to get an education and not be indebted for that with high tuitions and loans because, at some point, the greater society wants to prohibitively charge for getting a degree to the point that the debts limit the life and material choices the woman makes, while devaluing getting education itself in the public discourse because, quote unquote, the wrong people are getting degrees. The feminisms that meet this moment and the movements informed by these theories and practices, such as reproductive justice, state that the people who identify as women, girls, femmes, and other female-presenting people have the right to be able to determine how they wish to use their bodies, resources, and lives to bring forth the next generation of people. Some simply don't want to. Some do. Those who want children can do so through different means, be that through birthing through their own bodies, adoption, or surrogacy. Even when we do those, feminism's fight is to ensure that everyone affected by the decisions benefit, such as single mothers being able to access a robust safety net without shaming their marital status. That also means that, for instance, all moms can get the best health care for themselves and their children. Particularly Black and Indigenous women who choose to birth their babies receive the best prenatal, natal, and postnatal care for them and their newborns so they're not dying at birth, along with the best affordable child care so they are able to work and support their households, regardless of how their families are constructed. It means that we take seriously, for another example, Black women when they say they are in pain instead of the typically anti-Black female or misogynoirist response of thinking that Black women aren't possibly suffering because they quote-unquote don't feel pain because they're so quote-unquote strong. This socialized response from the medical profession, and even from Black women's own communities, to their pain leads to quite a few Black women not getting properly diagnosed and even prolonging waits to get their conditions looked at, to the point that the conditions are further along, to the point that they're prohibitively expensive to treat or cure. The feminism that meet this moment mean that when we do have our Women's History Month, we celebrate Sylvia Rivera, Stormy DeLarvery, and Marsha P. Johnson as much as we celebrate Elizabeth Cady Stanton, Susan B. Anthony, and Sojourner Truth. The feminisms that meet this moment acknowledge our common struggles against patriarchy and its offsprings of sexism, misogyny and misogynoir, transphobia and transmisogynoir, homophobia, femphobia, and whorephobia, as we simultaneously understand that these struggles interlock with racism, classism, ableism, and other oppressions, and even figure out ways to build on-the-ground practical coalitions that address one or several aspects of these oppressions, such as living wages and pay equity, ending sexual violence, the erasing of history and current existences of minoritized people in schools, or stopping the onslaught of anti-trans and now anti-drag show bills. The feminisms that meet this moment know that dismantling the systems of oppression require a multitude of strategies and much grace. The Juncture would like to thank Chris McDonald Dennis, Irna Landrum, R.J. Johnson, and Shani Angela Hervey for being the founding funders of The Juncture. The Juncture also appreciates the Patreon peeps. To help The Juncture produce more affirmations and other content for this channel, please consider becoming a sponsor. You can become a monthly sponsor at Patreon at the $3, $5, or $10 tier, or give a one-time gift as a founding funder at Venmo, CashApp, or PayPal. Also, like, share, and subscribe this and the other Affirmations for Progressive videos. And please don't forget the premiere of the news show, The Juncture, on Sunday, March 19th. And always, thank you for your support.